During the regular season, the Jets were dominant for 11 weeks and doormats for 5. And head coach Joe Walden had a few tricks up his sleeve to assure which Jet team would show up for the divisional playoff game against the Browns. Wesley Walker's 42-yard touchdown off the flea flicker gave New York a 7-0 lead, and it appeared that the Jets' quick strike capabilities, which had once made them the most exciting offense in football, were alive and kicking again. The ease with which Walker scored indeed caused wide-eyed disbelief, but the Browns immediately struck back as Bernie Kosar launched a 98-yard drive, culminating with his 37-yard touchdown pass to Herman Fontenot, number 28. This ability to battle back set the tone for the game. Suddenly, the Jets were left breathless as they barely had 4 minutes to savor their lead. Neither team would score a touchdown until the final period as the respective defenses took center stage. The Browns recorded 9 sacks, forced starter Pat Ryan out of the game with a groin pull, and victimized his replacement, Ken O'Brien, as well. Meanwhile, the Jet defense pressured Kosar, who had the lowest interception percentage in the league, into 2 turnovers. Russell Carter's theft ended Kosar's streak of 132 passes without an interception, and more importantly, thwarted the Browns' drive deep in Jet territory. Momentum was shifting toward New York. Mark Gastineau taunted the hostile crowd with his mouth. Freeman McNeil let his legs speak for themselves. One play after Kosar tossed his second interception, McNeil sprinted 25 yards for a score and a 20-10 lead. Kosar sought to redeem himself and more than made up for his miscues, setting playoff passing records by completing 33 of 64 for 489 yards. With just under 2 minutes to play, Kosar directed the Browns to the 1-yard line where Kevin Max scored to pull the Browns within 3. Just as the spark for the Browns' glorious comeback was ignited, the fire in the New Yorkers' eyes seemed to be extinguished. Frustration had set in for the Jets, a foe almost as dangerous as Bernie Kosar. Operating with no timeouts and precious little time, Kosar connected with Webster Slaughter for 37 yards down to the Jets' 5. With 7 seconds remaining in regulation, Mark Mosley kicked the tying field goal to wipe the slate clean and send the game into overtime. It took the combination of the Browns' oldest and youngest players to mount a stirring recovery from the cold breath of playoff extinction. And once the overtime began, it would be these 2 figures, Mosley and Kosar, who would be cast in the central roles once again. On the Browns' first overtime possession, Kosar brilliantly directed Cleveland again to the Jets' 5-yard line and called on Mosley for a repeat performance of his game-tying kick. But this time, he was the heel, not the hero. Mosley's 3rd miss of the day caused the Jets to rejoice, but ultimately it only prolonged New York's agony. Few players, notably kickers, get a second chance, but fate smiled kindly on Mark Mosley and the Cleveland Browns. 27 yards, and what seemed like an eternity later, Mosley gave the Browns a 23-20 double overtime victory. For the Jets, this game typified their season, a roller coaster all the way, something to take pride in, yet little consolation for their tremendous downfall at the end. It took the 3rd longest game in history to do it, but the Browns were on their way to the AFC Championship game. They had achieved their first playoff win since 1969 and can hold their heads proud and high, for they will be the favorites to represent their conference in Super Bowl 21.